Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a very pleasant subject. We're talking about eating bugs again. Yes, we are talking about bugs and food. It's disgusting and I had to do this, right? I did cover this guy's video. We did talk about consuming bugs and obviously the way the whole government thing is going, the way the government think that is actually a very sustainable way of producing a protein, and it's much healthier for us and it's much better for the planet. Well, and then more and more articles are now starting to come out, and we know, and I did cover this briefly, I think I said that Italy now one of the first countries that are now producing a cricket flour to make their pastas and to make their pizzas. And the way they do this, they farm crickets and then they freeze them and then they fry them and then they dry them and then they blitz them and then they make them into the flour, which isn't actually turned out to be very expensive thing. So it turns out as an average that it's actually not that cost effective and not that easy to produce a lot of crickets to create a lot of flour. However, everybody keeps telling us this is really good and it's really sustainable and it's magical. Well, it turns out to be not so much. So anyway, they're trialing this in Italy and only the top restaurants are taking the challenge on board and trying to offer people they're doing the cricket Alfredo pasta, and very few of Italians are actually wanting to give it a go because they find, and I totally understand where they're coming from, that this whole thing is ruining their culture. Italian food, the way they breathe food, they talk food, it's in their blood. And the crickets and cricket powder, it clearly is not. And they as a nation, they're actually refusing to take this on board. And I'm thinking it's kind of a good that somebody or a country is actually trying to fight against that because they don't want it. And the fact is as well, they looked at they cooked the pasta and it kind of looks okay, but the pasta looks brown. It just looks very unappetizing. And yes, whoever tried it apparently said it kind of tastes a-okay, but the whole mentality thing, because we know where it's come from, it's not particularly something that the people want to eat. And again, I'm totally with them. It's not something I ever wanted to dream of eating. And I'm hoping that many people will start to kind of understand that, especially people that think that is so much more sustainable, because apparently it totally is not. And they're actually saying they're trying to create enough crickets to feed many nations in supplying us obviously with the flour and many other proteins. It's not that easy and it's not that cheap altogether. So anyway, my point was with that, guys, after sort of doing the research and on the subject, as you do, suddenly there are loads of articles starting to come out again. Auntie, well, do you already know how much bugs we're already eating? It's kind of one of those things, basically, when the government tries to get to the point and say, we're going to be eating bugs because it's good for you. And you're like, no, I really don't want to eat that. And they go, well, actually, do you know you've been eating it for the past God knows how many years because they've already been in your food. And there is an article, I think it's from Daily Mail, I'm trying to put this down below, and I wouldn't read this out to you, okay, because it is, honestly, I gagged when I read this. The FDA, okay, allows quite a high percentage of worms and cockroaches, parts, maggots, many other insects in the food, okay? And this is sickening. One of the highest things is actually flour. Yes, guys, I understand flour. When the things are milled, yes, there will be bugs in there. And there's a beer hops. Then hear me, there's a peanut butter. There is chocolate. All those things are allowed to have quite a high percentage of particles of bugs, i.e. like feet, heads. Again, it just makes me sick just thinking about it. But one of the most popular ones that end up being contaminating our food is cockroaches' legs, okay? It's absolutely freaking disgusting. But do you know what, guys? I swear to God to you, I consumed a tin soup about a year ago. And we'll open it up and it's like, oh, what is that? It was like a cream mushroom of soup. And I know mushrooms are dark, blah, 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 but it just looked like it was a cockroach leg. It just did, or spider's leg of some kind. And it happened over the past good few years, couple of times. But you look at something like, I think I know what this is, but my brain just gonna blank it out because like, well, surely not. Surely there's gonna be higher standards of things like this. Well, apparently not. So it is examples in the articles tell you like we eat up to like a pound a year of things, not swallowing things when we sleep and walk, but actually things that are actually allowed enough food. And I kind of think, and that's been me being maybe skeptical, but it is just the irony of the fact where the whole agenda of us eating bugs, and it's also great, it's also healthy, and it's so great for the environment, comes out, and then people be, no, 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 we don't want that. And then those articles come up, it's like, but yeah, well, you've been already eating that, so that's all right. Have you noticed your cockroach head in your soup? No. Oh, that's all right, that's not a big deal. Have some more, you know, let's substitute more of your soup with cockroach heads because they're great, they're so good for you. Who would have known? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I will put the link below to the article, because I've noticed as well, sometimes you look at the articles, like, you know, say a week or so back, and then they kind of disappear off the face of the earth. As we probably know, things, and like in social media or many places, they just get brushed under the carpet, but it is there. There's a plenty of research. If you just Google like bugs in your food or something, you'll actually find out, and there's a percentages of allowed, or amounts allowed, of stuff in your foods, and it's just scary. As I said, flour, it's kind of understandable, it's ground, it's, you know, you can't really go through the tiny little grains, but chocolate, seriously, they go through the process, you must be have, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking, guys. I just wanted to bring this to people's attention, just purely because of the current situation with, you know, it's been pushed out so much to ourselves of, you know, eating bugs and all this, but please guys, do a little bit more research on the whole environmental impact of creating a lot of bugs to actually feed the world, and then the fact how many of them are consuming, and you actually be very surprised in both. In fact, I'm pretty sure it said something like having a farm to where you need to farm the not roaches but also bugs or maggots or whatever, it actually then produces, in fact, a little bit more of carbon dioxide and other things, and like electricity to run the thing, than to actually have animals. So I'll leave this with you guys. Thumbs up, please, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.